Give me the gory details.
You want the gory details?
All right, just give me the gory details.
And she will call you later with all the gory details.
You owe me nothing but the gory details.
Don't leave out nothing. We love gory detail here.
You know, I would love to sit and go over every gory detail with you, fat boy. And I want all the gory details.
I want all the gory details.
I want to hear all the gory details.
Here are the gory details, I guess.
Another gory details? Gory detail with which you speak.
The gory details. Recount all the gory details.
All the gory details.
All the gory details.
Here are the gory details.
Please leave out the gory details.
Oh, that must have been a pretty gory spectacle.
In gory detail.
Which is going to have a gory feel to it.
Last one's a little more gory.
With all the gory details.
No gory details.
Tell her all the gory details, you snake.
Spare me.
Spare me.
Spare myself, me ship, me crew.
No, spare me.
Not a lover's quarrel, pal. Spare me!
Spare me from what?
Of the gory details.
With gory stories.
It's not really scary, but gory.
Here's nature and all its gory.
Back in my gory days.
It's too gory.
It's pretty gory.
Gory.
The gory?
Gory.
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 Gory?
And give me the details.
Give me the details.
Details.
And spare no detail.
I'll spare you the gory details.
I'll spare you the gory details.
You want the gory details? Yeah?
Whenever a family has a child with an illness, you never know where that journey's going to take you. And we always prayed for a miracle.
She was the flyer. She's the one that they would, get and throw into the air.
She was this cute, petite, tiny little girl with just a head full of long, blonde hair. She wasn't afraid of heights. In fact, she wasn't really afraid of anything.
I've got a story just like anyone else. A wise man said, this too shall pass. Oh yeah. I can walk on. I'm gonna go all the way this time. Flying, never coming down. Gonna reach the stars. I'm going high.
We had noticed she had just gotten weak. I said, what's the matter with you? I said, you're a tumbler. You can tumble and do backflips, without knowing. And it progressed from that to she fainted a couple of times. And we thought it was, she's got a virus or whatever. So I took her into the doctor the next day, and they immediately sent us to Texas Children's Hospital.
She was just, from the moment I met her, she was about 11 years old, she just had a sort of magical presence about her, and nothing would keep that girl down.
Victoria was diagnosed at the age of 11 and a half with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. The cure rate for leukemia is the 80%. When Victoria was told that she had cancer, that's the only time we saw her cry. And Dr. Dreyer walked in and told her that 80%, 85% rate cure. So Victoria accepted that. She said she wasn't worried anymore.
In today's world, we cure, go away forever, about 80% of children. In 1965, we cured 5% of children. So the improvement is unbelievable. And Victoria actually had a particular subtype of ALL that the cure rate should have even been better than that.
Victoria's treatment was to take 2.5 years. And at the end of 2.5 years of chemo, Victoria was to be finished with her treatment.
So during that time, she had some good days, she had some bad days.
When she was sick, she still would put on her cheerleading suit and go do cheerleading. I have lots of pictures and important memories in my office, and one of the ones that I get to see every day is my beautiful picture of Victoria as an angel at our Camp Periwinkle. I'm the camp doctor. I've been the camp doctor for 20 plus years. And I took a little girl who was suffering from cystic fibrosis and cancer. And she was in Tori's cabin. But Victoria would come around, 11:30 in the morning, 12, get this little girl all ready for the day's activities for the afternoon. And she got this little girl ready to go to the dance. I will never forget that little girl at that dance. What a wonderful support Tori was, because without Tori, this little girl would never have had the camp experience that she did.
She feels great. How does my heart sound?
It's a little off. It kind of sounds like a bunny. I like bunnies.
Oh, you like bunnies?
I love them. Okay, you're good.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to hand this over to Dr. Frickback and see what she has to say.
Well, what's your name again?
My name is, Bunny McBunkbunk.
Well, Bunny McBunkbunk, today our breaking story is about a little dog named Arfie. Let's ask Arfie.
In 2005, Texas children held their first radiothon with the Children's Miracle Network Hospital, and that's where we met Doc.
We were doing a radiothon at a radio station in Houston, Texas, and she was the kind of kid that you could hear her coming long before she got to your soundproof studio. She was very full of energy. She was just 10 or 11 years old and was already considered a long-term survivor of leukemia.
Here she is, lying up in bed, tubes connected to her, She didn't go and cry about it or bemoan her situation. She was around to try to visit these other kids to make them feel better. And I think that's really the legacy of her.
At the end of 2.5 years, when Victoria's treatment was over, they performed another spinal tap and a bone marrow test. The Dr. Dreyer called us. I remember it was a Thursday, and she said, "I cannot believe this, but Victoria has relapsed." Because of the seriousness of her relapse, they told Victoria that her next option was to receive a bone marrow transplant.
Our community really rallied behind our family and our church. You know, we even had signs, "Pray for Victoria." So it wasn't just our family, it affected everybody.
And she made it through, and 9 months later, she relapsed again.
Joellen called me, and she had just the worst news ever, and that is that Victoria's cancer had returned.
So this was 3 times she was told that she had cancer. And so we began another journey to receive a second bone marrow transplant.
Victoria at that time decided she was going to fight and entered the hospital for what would turn out to be an extremely long stay, many, many, many months. And so as a result of this extended stay, I saw that there wasn't as much for her to do as you can stay placated with as a young person.
And he asked her at that time, he said, "Victoria, do you like to play video games?" She said, "I love to play video games."
So I put the word out to a website that I worked with called Sarcastic Gamer, and the online community responded in droves. What I expected to be a couple of games that might come from here and there instead turned out to be things coming from all over the world.
And we started receiving boxes of games.
We had games that came in from Asia and Europe, and
He was receiving games from all over Texas, all over the United States.
so much so that it became sort of overwhelming. Tori had to end up giving it away to other kids who were also stuck in the hospital.
She was the one to go around to be that extra person for all these other children.
It just doesn't seem right that a child should be sick. It's not right that a child stay in a hospital and that they're confined to the hospital and their 4 walls and they're not experiencing the other things that children are doing.
She couldn't be around other people that could have any infections. You know, when she was out, she had to wear her masks.
During this time, Victoria contracted a fungal infection, which is from a very low immune system, and she had little to no immune system left.
And I asked her what she wanted for Christmas, and she said, "I'd really just like to get out of this hospital and go see Christmas lights. Christmas lights are something my family and I go see together all the time, and I can't even leave to go see Christmas lights."
We knew that during the final stages that we weren't going to have Victoria with us much longer.
We were only outside for about 10 minutes, but it was a very special 10 minutes. There wasn't a lot of talking. We just looked at lights. And after about 10 minutes, we rolled back upstairs to her room, and we had our picture made in front of a little Christmas tree. And I said goodbye. And that picture is one of my most prized possessions because it was taken just moments before I saw my friend for the last time. And Victoria passed away before I could get back to see her.
The miracle that we received was that we had her for the time that we had her.
I brought her picture, and I just put that on the table. And I said, you know, this is what we look at every day during this radiothon, during this campaign.
Victoria passed away on January 21st, 2008, after a 4-year battle with leukemia, failed bone marrow transplants, and fungal infections.
It was as a result of Tori's death, sitting at her funeral, that I made up my mind that I needed to be doing this, not just a couple days a year with a radiothon, that I needed to be doing this with my life.
Doc wanted to do something special for Victoria, in memory of Victoria. And he came up with a fundraiser called Extra Life. And this fundraiser would be for the gaming community.
It just occurred to me that gamers should be able to do the things they love to help sick and injured kids as well. And so Extra Life was born. 1,200 gamers showed up on October 15th in 2008.
With this year's Extra Life Gaming Marathon, we're helping save kids' lives. You don't even have to be a crime-fighting superhero.
Each and every year afterwards, it continued to grow. Gamers responded by being able to game for their local hospitals. The next year, 4,500 gamers showed up, raised almost $500,000. The year after that, it was 15,000 gamers raising $1 million, and the next year, 17,000 gamers raising $2.1 million. Video games are like the #1 form of entertainment on planet Earth, have been now for quite a while.
Anyone could be involved in Extra Life.
Gamers aren't that pale kid in mom and dad's basement. They're mom and dads, they're aunts and uncles.
A young child to an older adult to a grandparent.
You can take all that fun of playing games for 24 hours and reach out to your friends and bring them to your environment.
Or if you want to play a board game, a card game.
The funds that Extra Lifers raise can go to a variety of purposes in the local area at the local hospital.
So maybe your extra $20 or your extra $50 goes to curing 87% of children with leukemia.
They might buy an isolette for a baby that is born the size of a cell phone and has to fight for its life.
I can guarantee you that that money goes directly back to these children to keep this from happening again to someone else's child.
Getting involved with Extra Life is really simple. You just have to go to the website at extra-life.org, put in a few details in there, join a team if you'd like to, or create one. After that, it's as simple as fundraising with your friends and family. Let them know why you are doing this. They should know that the money you raise is going to stay local in your community.
We never will truly lose Victoria because she will live for all of us through this.
It started with a little girl in Orange, Texas.
All we have to say for today.
All we have to say today, so
we'll see
see
you
you
tomorrow
later
at
on
news at
whatever time it is.
At Victoria's house. Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys and girls, ghosts and goblins. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sean Gory, and I'll spare you the gory details. I'm dead excited to be here with you all this evening for our Thriller Thursday broadcast, where we will be coming to you live from a little bit of Halo Infinite, where we are recreating a Nacht der Untoten from Call of Duty Zombies here in the Forge editor within or inside of Halo Infinite. What you just saw wasn't just a normal miracle story, but is actually sort of the origin story of Extra Life. And that is what that giant blue donation bar and progress tracker is at the top of the screen, as well as that giant countdown saying that there are only 288 days until game day this year. We're currently raising funds for sick and injured kids in Children's Miracle Network hospitals, just like Tori in that story that you just watched. And my goal this year is $13,000, which you can see right there. That's because this is my 13th year fundraising for Extra Life. So if you are a gamer or a gaming enthusiast, I cannot recommend enough looking into Extra Life. It's absolutely free. You can play games for an entire day, and it goes to help kids like Tori. Yeah. Pumpkin Jack shared some info in the chat for you, but it got a little buried. So if you need to find it again, there it is. And also, if you just look at my About Me section or just do a quick Google search, you'll find out some more information. It's pretty great. You could join a team. You could do it solo. You could start a team. This doesn't have to be streamed. This does not have to be video games. It could be board games. It could be tabletop games. It could be card games. It could be sports games, however you see fit. Charity short for a charity stream. What's up, Lone Wolf? Oh, charity shirt. Yes, yes. No, I was running it's from a little 5K I ran last year. True 10 Full Rate. What's up, friend? Let me give you a wave. Speaking of extra lifers and awesome people, how are you? It's time to fool around. Tim, I know you saw it in Discord, but I met a fellow friend of ours whose name ironically is Tim just this last week in real life. It was weird. It really is a small world, man. It really is a small world. I guess short ironically actually works as well, yes. While prepping before our stream tonight, so Tim, I know you did D&D on Tuesday. What's on the docket for this evening? Tim, you partied with them. Small world in the Midwest. Exactly. Oh, Lord. Well, hey, speaking of Extra Life, our friend Braden, you can see over my shoulder here, used their Phantom Points to make me donate $1 of my own hard-earned cash to Extra Life. So that's exactly what I'm doing here, and then I'm doing my best to tackle the rest of these channel point redemptions. So first things first, let me slap those cans on. That was a good throw. Customize randomized Fire Emblem and the Sacred Stone Tonight. Very cool, Tim. I saw a screenshot where it looked like Mario was talking to Stalin in that game, which is something else. All right, folks. So first things first. Utter chaos. Yep. I mean, and like at least it's like organized chaos, right? Like there's a method to the madness, but wasn't there for that. Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna have some tunes playing because tunes are good. So I'm gonna donate, and this is for a Phantom Point redemption courtesy of Braden. $1 donate. Let's get a drum roll going. There it goes. Thank you so much for those Phantom Points, Braden. I also, over my shoulder, have a hydrate here, courtesy of Todger Cheetah. Todger Cheetah, cheers, mate. Thank you so much. I'll even slap you with the hydrate emote. There it goes. Hey, Mark, that's complete. And posture check. This is a good one for you guys at home, too. Oh my gosh, Lone Wolf, it was so good. What's funny is, my girlfriend can't. Rice doesn't agree with my girlfriend, and I've had this, like, 8th bag of rice sitting in my cabinet. There's that sound of the notification. I've had, like, an 1/8 of a bag of rice just sitting in my cabinet for, like, a year. And someone on Reddit had suggested maybe serve it with rice. I'm like, that sounds amazing. So literally this evening, oh my gosh, that Tim Shock emote. Have a wonderful stream tonight. I'll be lurking. Keep flipping around, Gory Gang. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you. Let me give you a little bit of a shout out here. Nope, it's not working. Fine, I'll do it manually. We'll do it like a Neanderthal. No, not highlight. Is it shout out? Always good to bring some love to fellow Extra Lifers here. But so yeah, I cooked up some rice exclusively for me because it was going to waste otherwise. So I took the rice, and I took a scoop of it and put it in my bowl before I put the chili in, and basically turned it into a gumbo, and it was still so good. And honestly, Lone Wolf, that was probably the easiest meal I've ever made because all I had to do was cut bacon, whether you use scissors or a knife, whatever. I had to cut an onion, which wasn't even on the recipe. So if you took that out, it was just cut bacon. Throw it in a pot and come back 8 hours later. It was stupid simple. Like, stupid simple. Yes. Yeah, posture checks. We got the seat adjusted. I'm adjusting the lumbar support. You guys should also at home make sure you're doing the same because no one wants a bad back. Obviously, if you're laying down or something, or you're right nice and reclined, you're good. I'll be able to sing to me? Braden, that will happen, but I am going to do that at the end of the stream. So posture check is completed. We also have a stretch here. There we go. That feels good. Gonna mark those as complete. Thank you for those Phantom Points, birthday boy. If you guys didn't figure it out in the chat, Braden's birthday is tomorrow. So we're gonna be saying them happy birthday at the end of the stream here, I'm gonna go ahead and launch up Halo Infinite. And I've already got my Xbox going here. So once I get my footage of Infinite over on the screen, we'll get rock and rolling. There's no real objective to today's broadcast. The one room I started on, I think is like fully decorated. Like we could always potentially add more debris and things. But I want to just look around and see what else we can add. I've made a little bit of progress since we streamed last. I wish my arm wasn't so itchy. Is this what like a dog feels like after they've got head surgery? I just want to. Oh wait, I want to change my gameplay over to the other screen. Give me just a second here. So 17 bruises for the birthday creature. Maybe. There we go. There's the footage. We can see it now. Play. Yes. So forge, map, my files, and I'm trying to make sure I'm sitting upstairs. I was leaning forward a little bit here. There we go. Launching up. Sweet. It itches. I'm trying to think. So this tattoo, this session was on Monday. I have to wear the derm for 4 to 6 days. So let's say I wear it for 6 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can take it off this weekend. Good. Tomorrow's Friday, so in theory, like 2 more days. I'll take it. I will take it. It reminded me of when my parents would make me mac and cheese early in the morning. I'll have to wait for a second here slapping, and so I was so confused. Yes, I can imagine. Okay, so first things first, let me duplicate this so the textures come back. Good. I'm not going to set a working file quite yet, because I don't know what room I'm going to be working in. I'm on the wrong website. Maybe. Okay, so I did just add that guy and then these signs. And I was going to look around and see if there's anything else I'm missing here in this room, really. I mean, we could add some... We can always add some more debris, but I'm not worried about that. We got the chests, we got the light. Ow, bro! Don't touch me there, stepbrother. Do we have a light above that sign? We don't. I put it above the doorway like an idiot. $30. There we go. Save. Okay, let me take another look around here. We got a soda can on the ground. We have the wire. We got this soda can. It's actually like a can of food, not a soda can, but we got this little thing with the rebarb. We got the bloody rebarb. Yeah, other than like debris, we got the sandbags. I'm not sure what else we can add to this room. I mean, I could get stupid and add the wiring that goes across the ceiling, or have it. Right now, our wires come out of that wall and come out of that wall. If I want to get crazy, I could make them go, instead of through the wall like they do here, I could make them come across this beam and then come down and then go through this guy here, but a lot. Curious how you're going to mimic the flashing ground light on the second deck. Ooh, so we actually have that here. So I literally need to take this and set it. There's one over here. This guy flashes. Oh, do we ever have flashing? I'm pulsing now. But yeah, that will also happen up here. That's just one of the things that the lights have. So for example, the torches have a little bit of a flicker too. And that's just like a preset. If I can select the thing. So in the options, there is a thing for the lights where it says animation, candlelight. So we can make it strobe, we can make it blink, like imagine like an intersection you come to where the power's out and it's just flashing red. Flicker horror, ooh. We might have to do horror. We might have to do horror. Let me see what horror looks like here. Animation type, horror. It's basically flicker. Alright, well, it fits. I'll even add the other one to horror. Works for me. Exactly. Oh yeah, that's spooky. So this guy's gonna be a torch eventually. Does it already animate? No. But yeah, so this is like a really subtle thing I've done that no one will ever know. But I replaced all those really thick boards that we had with like these really thin boards that we just realized existed. That I had used to make this military shelf. So this shelf is super detailed. You can see there's like a little lip on it. Like I did bolts. Like this is, I went hard with this shelf because it appears all over the map. A huge swarm of infected are coming from every direction. It's a raid from S15 costuming. There are billions. Holy smokes. S15 costuming. Thank you so much for that raid. We gotta go to the raid screen. We gotta go to the raid screen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys and ghouls, ghosts and goblins. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sean Gory, and I'll spare you the gory details. I'm dead excited to have you all here this evening for a Thriller Thursday broadcast. S15 Costuming, thank you so much for that raid, friendo. Oh, you even have your own emote, your own raid emote. That's amazing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What were you playing? I know, you made a post earlier today where you went to the gym, you were exhausted, and you're like, guys, can we please, like, can we stream at 6 o'clock instead? I'm exhausted. Were you playing Pokemon? Either way, you tell me, you guys, and let me know how it went. And for those of you guys here already in the chat, you have to check out S15 Costuming. They are a fellow extra lifer, which makes them pretty sweet in my book. And, wait, hold on. There we go. And they do a whole bunch of cosplay. They've made some really cool, like, post-apocalyptic Waluigi, no, not Waluigi, Wario cosplays. They've done some really sick Among Us cosplay. They've even done Codename Kids Next Door from Cartoon Network. They are constantly doing some pretty incredible stuff. I played Doki Doki Literature Club and Among Us. Okay. I am not familiar with Doki Doki Literature Club. Now that you mention it, I do remember you posting about it, but I'm not familiar with that game. What is it? Is it like a JRPG? I have no idea what it is. Either way, welcome guys, welcome. What we're currently doing is we're recreating Nacht der Untoten from Call of Duty Zombies here in Halo Infinite in their Forge. It just came out in November. We've been doing it pretty much since Extra Life's game day, and we're 22 streams into this thing. It looks good. It looks very good. But we still have a long way to go. You'll see what I mean when I get my head out of the way. Let me do just that. Indie Retro, welcome to the stream, friendo. Let me give you a wave. I'll even slap an actually have emote in there for US 15. I've seen the game and it brings back bad memories. Interesting, interesting. It's a dating sim that can get dark, apparently. I'm curious what you mean by dark. We talking like, oh, by the way, there's a secret society of vampires? Or are we talking like something else? But I am curious. Okay, what was I doing down here? Oh, we were messing with the lights. Good. It's a psychological horror. Oh, I would not have guessed it, actually. Well, if S15's still new to it, then let's not ruin anything for them. Okay. So what, let me take a look around. Some more here in Black Ops 3. Oh gosh, hi friends. And see what we might be missing. I think this room's pretty much done. We got lamps in the ceiling, right? Also, quick question, going to ELU. That's a good question, S15. So I know they announced that the bookings were available today. ELU has always been... I've always been on the fence about, because, like, of course, do I love the idea of potentially winning thousands of dollars for my local hospital? Of course. But me spending hundreds of dollars for a chance to come home empty-handed sounds like a lot. Indie Retro, thank you so much for that follow, friend. Welcome to the Gory Gang. Appreciate you being here, friend. Yeah, it seems like a lot to spend hundreds of dollars to potentially come home with nothing, right? But of course, spending hundreds and potentially coming home with thousands for the kids sounds sweet too. So there's a little bit of toss-up. A lot of the deciding factors in the past have been the game selection. Last year's game selection was great. There was... I mean, Halo Infinite was on there, and that's what we're playing right now. That was great. I would have done amazingly at that. But a lot of the other games were super niche, like a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2D or 3D fighting game. I'm like, first off, I don't own this game. And so anyone who does and has been playing it for years is going to be at a huge advantage. In fighting games in general, if you know like the combos, you are going to just destroy. There's a lot of board games that were weird. It was like, as a whole, like, I always wait until they announce the game list. And even then, I'm still not sold. Like, there would have to be some darn good games. I did sign up to go to Extra Life on my 10th anniversary fundraising for Extra Life. Ironically, that was 2020 when it got shut down. I had my tickets, I had my plane tickets, I had the hotel, all of it. 2020 came, and like, yep, we're putting a kebab in that. It is the experience. You're absolutely right, S15. And like, honestly, like, even if I go home empty-handed, like I didn't win anything from my hospital, I would have still had a blast. I still would have played games, which would be fun. I'd still get to meet a bunch of people like you, and I'm sure I would have gotten a bunch of sweet swag and made good memories and probably even recorded some promo stuff for Extra Life. That all sounds very appealing, right? That all sounds very appealing. So like, I'm not against ELU, but as a whole, I just haven't been like sold every year. If that makes any sense. So we don't, Tawdry, we don't know the game selection yet, buddy. They typically, yeah, they haven't announced it. They literally, like, just today announced that, like, you can buy tickets for ELU. But they haven't announced the game list yet. I feel like they probably won't until, like, April or May. I think it's going to take them a while. Yes. You think that they should let Extra Life Social Team, a.k.a. you, in for free? I like where your head's at, Tawdry. I like where your head's at. No, as much as I'd like to admit that I do their social media, I don't. That's not me. Okay, lights. We were checking to see if we have the same lights as they have. We're missing some. You're always on it like it's crazy. Oh, I lied. Unless there's one right here, we're good. There's not one right here. Okay. So we... Is it on the floor? Because it's right here. Okay, so then let me take a look. We got these 3. And then we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, this room's pretty much done. I could add more debris and I could add stuff to like conceal this seam here, but that can wait. Okay, this room needs a lot of work. We'll come back to this room. Let's take a look here. Perfect. This shelf. I already see something that needs some TLC. Is this way not open? It is not open. Oh wow, that's like a really fast flicker. Hold on. While we're in here adjusting things. So we do have it set to horror. Horror. Let's set the rate to, let's double it. Let's just go to 2. Four. That is pretty much perfect. Awesome. Alright, well, we gotta pass this zombie back to the first floor here. I don't have this room unlocked. We need more points. Okay, I gotta kill that zombie. Sorry, friend. Okay, everything's fine. Ooh, I can get a new gumball. This is a fun one. The zombies float up when we shoot them. Oh, I can repair windows again. Let me do that. Get some points. We are still getting points. That's good. Okay, now we're no longer getting points. I only need 1,000 to unlock the next room, which we'll get in no time. Seeing him just get yeeted up is great. Okay, we got 1,000 points. Awesome. Let's look at this shelf. Okay, perfect. So we do have a short box and a long box. So let me work on a long box. I should save before we go any further because we have made progress. Okay, short box and long box. In terms of folders, let's close these guys just to take up less space. Okay, we're in floor 1, and we're in room 2, and we're working on the room 2 decorations. So set that as the working folder. Save. I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, cool. How does that box look? It looks similar to the other box, but a little different. Let me just take a quick look through the crate selection and see if we can find one that's closer. Oh, this one's got some stank on it. Neon Renegade. Ahoy! What's up, Chabs? Happy Thriller Thursday. Let me give you a wave, friendo. How are ya? Welcome to the stream, friendo. I suppose I should welcome back. You're never far, which makes my heart happy. I don't remember. It's probably one of the recap videos. I think that's what it was, Chabs. I was showing my girlfriend like the best of 2022 clip video I posted, and she's like, "Whose voice is it?" I'm like, "That's Chabs." And she's like, "I don't recognize Chabs." I'm like, she's like, "Chabs has a great voice." I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "Chabs is one of those dudes like I would drive, make a road trip to go hang out with." In fact, that's like a That's a bucket list item right there if I've ever heard one. Jabs is a G. An original gangster. So good, by the way. Oh my gosh, thank you. What's funny is like the tail end of that video, I literally organized the highlight video based on views on Twitch and TikTok and YouTube. And what's funny is like the last like 3 or 4 of those videos were all Subnautica videos from game day for Extra Life when I was broadcasting it for 24 hours, technically 25. But like I've played Subnautica Below Zero, but for some reason those things blew up. Like the one where I get eaten by a Reaper Leviathan had like 1,000 views in the first day. I'm like, what is happening? If that could happen every day, I'd be very happy. You do have a great voice, man. There's always like that joking insult, like, oh, you have a face for radio, which means no one wants to see your face. You have a voice for radio, my friend. My voice is quite nasally, and I don't love it. And I feel bad because people have to hear me talk for hours and hours and hours. So I'm sorry. No, I do talk a lot, and I'm sure people are like, this kid loves the sound of his own voice. Nope, I don't. I do not like the sound of my own voice. In fact, I know how nasally it sounds. I think most people, if you're like, have a walkie-talkie or a talk boy from Home Alone, I think most people, if you were to record their voice and play it back to them, people go, oh God, that's what I sound like? Obviously with cell phones now, it's much easier. But yeah, I don't think most people like the sound of their voice. I know some people do, but I'm not one of them. I feel like it makes more sense for me to come to you, meet everyone else, if they also want to meet me. Oh my gosh, Chefs, we'll make a weekend out of it. Chabs Party 2023. I had a client tell me I have a voice for radio. Maybe smooth jazz. Actually, Lone Wolf, that checks out because you do have a very deep voice, and I could see that being a little velvety, depending on what you're saying. I can see that, Lone Wolf. I can absolutely see that. So I'm looking for another box that might replace our existing crate here. Okay, so I just want to use just the regular crate. Alright, well, then that's what we're doing. We'll do it live. From what I recall, science says that we hear ourselves talk different decibels than we actually talk at. So the sound travels up your bone, like your jawbone, and it acts as like an antenna. So you do hear yourself at a different decibel. What's also funny too is at any given moment, just because of where our eyes are located, you can see your nose. Like, I'm sure if you focus on something, you can see how, like, it's there, but it's blurry. Our brains have basically trained themselves to just, like, ignore that. It's like, oh, hey, I know their nose is there, but, like, don't pay much attention to it. Like, I know if I squint or make a face, I can see my eyebrows actually shift in front of my line of sight a little bit. And I can see my nostrils shift too. It's like the same concept too, where like, hey, fun fact, your tongue has weight. And then you're all of a sudden conscious about where your tongue is resting in your mouth. You're like, is it touching my teeth? Is it on the left? Is it on the right? Is it in the front? Is it in the back? What's my tongue doing right now? By the way, it's been a minute since you've blinked. You should probably blink. Oh, by the way, remember breathing on your own? You're gonna do that manually now. I just mind assassinated everybody. I'm sorry. It's like, oh my god. Fudge! Yep. It's like, don't think of purple elephants. Guess Guess what just crossed your mind? A purple elephant. You probably even put it in a tutu. You probably even put it in a tutu. And now, you're all thinking of purple elephants wearing tutus. You're welcome. My brain can only accept so much stimuli. All in a day's work, friends. So for fun, I actually want to make sure this thing's square. So I want to make this 3.5 by 3.5 by 3.5. There. Not really, just slightly, but I mostly been thinking of another game, so counteract that. What game have you been thinking about, Indy? Okay, we got this nice and squared up. Let me oh, shoot. Let me unprefab this. So the prefab's rotation is based on the first item you select. And so for this one, it was that little down arrow. I want to rotate it from the center of the cube. That just makes sense. So now we will add these other accents. There we go. Okay, cool. So based on our little pause screen here, the iron crest needs to be facing this other way. And we don't want it flush against the shelves in terms of its rotation. We want it kind of askew here. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's, okay. I almost talked about it every day, so actually me getting to think about anything else like a purple elephant doesn't really work. Oh no. So are you like a huge fan of the game, or is it just like something that you and like your friends talk about often? I've never played just because it looks absolutely terrifying, and I'm not sure if I could even beat it because it looks so hard. It looks so hard. Oh, not Five Nights at Freddy's, FNF. I don't know what. Oh, Friday Night Funkin'. Oh, my nephew went as FNF. Friday Night Funkin'. He went as that for Halloween. Although I am a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's also, but you're a fan of Friday Night Funkin'. But yeah, so my nephew went as Friday Night Funkin', and then my niece went as Huggy Wuggy, that blue scary monster. So they've definitely been watching some YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna take a kind of a gander here at the orientation of this crate. So we got it pretty close. That's pretty darn close. I feel like I could rotate it a little bit more. Let's just try 20 degrees. Cool. Cool. Okay, now this guy needs to be, I think, just straight up on its side, right? Like, yeah, like the latch is facing the other crest. And as far as I can tell, the only symbol is going to be on the top, which will be facing us. So we could fix that. One of the best part about the FNF fan base? Sure, Indy. I'm honestly, I could not tell you. I'm not familiar. People made the lyrics of songs? I did not know that, actually. That is pretty cool. Like they crowdsourced it, kind of. Give me just a second. Got it. Let me change this thing's rotation. Got it. So I know it needs to go this away, basically. Put negative 90. And then this away, negative 90 again. Cool. Okay, great. I'm gonna save real quick. They created their own take on the lyrics because they don't have them other than already known songs that has lyrics in the first place. Huh. I did not know that. That is a fun fact. That's a very fun fact. Okay, so first things first is I need to unprefab this. And then we'll start by making... Oh, shoot. Cool. Okay, now I can unprefab it. Now I just realized that the hatch was on the wrong side. So the hatch needs to be going like towards, or is that a hinge? I guess it doesn't matter. Either way, it needs to be like going towards the... I'm being hit. Usually when I watch FNF with lyrics, I hear from a YouTuber called Red D or Recorder Dude. Massive fan of those covers that I have to see them when they're out. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so the hinges are facing the box. The other box, I mean. So I'm gonna rotate this guy 90 degrees here. That looks better. Okay, and then how flush is it to the shelves? Completely. It is completely flush to the shelves. Okay. And we want to extend beyond the second shelf just a little bit. So perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot this out. I mean, what degree is this at? 10? Shoot. I fudged up, guys. There we go. Make that rotation right. 10 degrees. That's what we want. Cool. Now I can unprefab it. Because we do need to scale just the box itself up. Nope. Nope. Let's set this to 6. Let's see how 6 looks. I've also been seeing some fan animations of that game. I kind of want to do... I kind of want to do my own take on it. Interesting. Are you an animator there, Indy? Outside of streaming, I try to be an animator. That answers my question. And, well, I have the 3D models for them. I didn't even realize that FNF was 3D. I thought there was 2D. Interesting. Okay. What do you use for 3D, your 3D animation? I've spent a ton of time in 3ds Max for work and school, but we are slowly getting into Blender because Blender's free, which is free's good. Free's good. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's, that makes perfect sense that there's models out there because, you know, that is also free. Or not free, that is actually in 3D. Like, that makes sense. Eekman, I nerd, what's up? Bash, welcome to the stream, friendo. Let me give you even a little bit of an extra life emote there. Okay, so I doubled the size of this crate. I slapped on the ground, and sure enough, by happenstance, it does already poke just beyond the edges of that shelf, which is pretty much exactly what I wanted. The only issue is that I gotta do something with these decals. Is there only one? There's only one. I mean, is there even more than one decal visible on this one? I can see one from this side. And there is not one on that one. Perfect. We only need one anyway. Perfect. So we are going to rotate this one to match. But yeah, the plan is. How's the Nerdy Fam? Nerdy Fam is good. Nerdy Fam is good. Speaking of Extra Life friends, I know we ran a miracle store at the beginning because I had some stuff to do while I was setting up. But I really need to use the restroom. And we have been streaming for a full hour, so it's time for me to refill my water. Oh, Bash, you rat. You rat. Bash just used their Phantom points to make me donate $1 of my own hard-earned cash to Extra Life. So we'll do that real quick before we run a quick miracle story. So I'm going to go ahead and hit donate here. This is for a Phantom Point redemption. I'm going to give you a drum roll. That went way too soon. I'll give you a barrel roll now. Ready?
Barrel roll.
There it goes. You're shocked you actually got me on that? Well, I'm glad you did. Thank you so much for those Phantom points there, friend. So we are going to take a quick break. I got to use the restroom, refill the water. But we'll be right back. We got a great rest of the stream for you. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We will be right back. See you in a bit.
Cadence, our little girl, was born February 23rd, 2007. She was 5 months old when we went on a family vacation. We all got sick, very, very, very sick, and we came home from vacation, and Cadence had a really soft cry, and every time I'd lay her down, I noticed that she would kind of cry, which was not like her. I called the doctor's office, and the doctor came in, and she said, "Cadence looks great." I said, "I know, but there's something wrong." And just then, Cadence started coughing. A terrible, terrible cough. I had never heard something like that before.
I just remember getting a phone call and my wife in tears saying that we've got to go up to primary children's. Her heart's so large it's blocking her left lung.
She had to be admitted to the pediatric intensive care unit. She had IVs placed and had to be on medication through her IV to help her heart squeeze. She eventually had to be on a breathing machine. It was clear that her heart function was continuing to decline. She had been listed for a heart transplant, and so in order to give her a longer period of time to live while waiting for an organ, we started to investigate our ability to put in this device known as the Berlin heart. This particular device was developed in Germany. The FDA allows us to get compassionate use and experimental use for the device in individual cases.
So we got the equipment in from Berlin, Germany. The doctors flew in to help do the procedure, and Cadence was given the Berlin heart on November 7th.
It was a night and day difference. We had a daughter that was a little bit gray, was completely immobile, to a girl that was pink, full of life and full of energy. We had our daughter back.
She handled the Berlin heart really well. Probably about the second week of December, Cadence started getting sick again, and the right side of her heart was now starting to fail. I worried about it for probably a day, and then I got an overwhelming feeling, and I I knew Cadence's heart was coming. Hello?
Chantel, this is Emily.
No way.
I was jumping up and down and screaming with joy, and at the same time I was crying for the poor family that lost their child to be able to save mine.
They gave Cadence a future. They gave us hope. They gave her brothers their sister. They gave her mom and dad their only daughter.
It was truly just extremely bittersweet. One of the things that helped us cope the most was the love and caring of the people around us in our family and in our community, and even the family that we have up at Primary Children's. I swear they love my daughter as much as I do.
Miracles happen, and these children's hospitals are what they are because of the communities around them.
For our hospital to do what they need to provide the care for these patients, it does take many people giving of their time, giving of their love, and giving of their money.
When someone donates to Children's Miracle Network, they're giving these children a chance to have a future.
Alright, gang, we are back. What you just saw was a miracle story, or just a very good example of how the funds raised here playing games like Halo Infinite helps raise funds for sick and injured kids in the Children's Miracle Network hospitals like Cadence, you just saw in that story. Bash Sticks, it's funny that you mentioned that you're familiar with that hospital, because there are so many of these hospitals across the US and Canada. I would have never even thought oh hey, that's up the street from someone I know. So that's kind of cool. I only hope that one day I can see a miracle story from one of the hospitals I fundraised for. So that must be super special for you. I'm very happy for you. Indy says, I remember when I was young, I took a bit too many meds of the same pill. Oh no! Thankfully I had my stomach pumped before it took me. It's not like I was trying to commit suicide, I just didn't know any better. I mean, honestly, Indy, that could happen with vitamins. I have broken out in hives before from taking too much vitamin C. Your body can only handle so much of certain things. And some stuff, like your body will just oh hey, I don't need this, I'm gonna kind of piss it away or whatever. But other stuff is no, this is gonna be a problem now. So I'm glad to hear that you were treated, Indy. That's great news. Braden, welcome back. By the way, guys, tomorrow is Braden's birthday, and we won't be streaming, so we will be singing them happy birthday at the end of the stream here. So if you'd like to help us do so, stick around and please do. Like beer. Lone Wolf, are you saying that you have had allergic reactions to beer? Or are you saying that you've had to have your stomach pumped because you had too much beer? Next time I drive where they're building it, I'll snap a picture for you. The new center's amazing. Bash sticks. The fact that they're even like pumping up the center sounds amazing. Yes, happy birthday, Braden, indeed. Yes. All right, gang. Well, what if you are just tuning in here? We are recreating Nacht der Untoten from Call of Duty Zombies here in Halo Infinite, and I'm just kind of decorating more or less, trying to make this pretty. The layout is there. Like you can walk around and be like, "This is totally Nacht der Untoten." But we're filling like empty shelves. We're building some boxes. We're making it even better. So let me get my head out of the way. We'll get right back to the gameplay. We'll get some tunes cranking, and we'll get rocking and rolling. Let's do it. Lone Wolf says, I pee a lot. Oh, you pee a lot. I understand. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Pissing away stuff your body doesn't need. I pee a lot from beer since my body tries to get rid of it. Yes, I understand, Lone Wolf. That's funny. Okay, so we need to pull this out. And we need to rotate it 10 degrees. I lied. It needs to be 10 degrees from 180. So let's try 170. Before I break anything, let me just group these guys. There we go. Welcome back, friendo. What is that emote? It's someone smashing a cake in their face. I thought it was almost like some pixelation, because like you couldn't see their face. No, that's cake and frosting. Welcome to the stream, friend. Let me give you a little wave. How are you? How's your Thriller Thursday treating you? Okay, so first things first, oops. Let's center this on that seam running down the middle. Okay, do I have this rotated the wrong way? Oh, I wasn't moving it by object. I was moving it by world. I'm like, what's happening? Okay, that is center. Good. It's a real life Spartan. It looked like it, like they're wearing like the Spartan armor, like right here. That's funny. That is funny. Okay, so let's push ourselves a little bit up here. And what's the position of this box? 507.80. So we'll put this at 507.80. That right there, friends, is a good-looking box. That's a good-looking box. It's custom-made Chief armor. That's awesome. No, I've seen some great Master Chief cosplay on the Halo subreddits and even like Instagram. People are too talented, friend. So add to prefab. Ungroup. And we will prefab this if we ever have to move it again. Awesome. So we wanted that to come up to like just above that shelf, like it is in good old Black Ops here, and that's exactly what we're doing. Oh, there's more zombies. Oh, there's more zombies. Max ammo, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, so we wanted it to come up across above the second shelf, which we did. Good. Where is it located on the shelf? That's what I want to know. Indie Retro says, about the animations, I can animate, but my problem is I'm looking for voice actors. Like the main character, I can voice myself, no problem. But the other characters, yeah, that can be a problem. Indy, have you ever checked out Fiverr? I have hired, it's a website, Fiverr.com. I have hired voice actors to record some sketches I've done for my own personal YouTube and like Instagram and TikTok videos. Let me show you one here. Extra life. Surprise. Wait. I gotta stop hitting enter like a big dummy. Show all. There we go. There's one with a swear jar. Here it is, here it is, here it is. So I had to hire somebody to do the voice acting for the lady announcer here in this video. So you'll see it in just a second here. Here we go.
Still trash talking. You can't stop it. Well, your trash talking was so good, you actually dropped an F-bomb during the last game here. And so I've just been informed that you have to donate $1 to your Extra Life swear box. And it's okay though, because it's going to a good cause. It's going to the CMN hospitals. Do you take back the F-bomb or are you standing by it?
So if I say it again, I have to donate another $1?
Yeah, do you want to up it with another donation?
It.
Well, it's going to a good cause. Congratulations to you both. Guys, back to you.
So that was not the original voice of the announcer who was at that event live. That was someone I hired on Fiverr. So definitely check that website out there, Retro. It's affordable, and most artists or vendors on that site will get back to you within like a matter of hours. I'm happy to talk if you need me. Bash, look at you volunteering. Bash, you've got the equipment, you've got microphones. Yeah, you could do it. Any reason why you chose the Black Ops 3 version, not the original World at War version? That's a good question, Wilco. Honestly, that thought never even crossed my mind. In my head, the World at War version is just so sterile. So, for example, like, if I was to hide anything that said the word deco, this would basically be the World at War version, where obviously not the Pack-a-Punch or not the Gobblegum machine, but it would just be very, very sterile, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this definitely feels like it's missing something, right? Whereas the Black Ops 3 version is just a lot more gritty. It has a lot more visual noise in terms of debris, in terms of other stuff. It's definitely more interesting. That's for sure. It's definitely more interesting. I mean, I literally have a dude impaled here on rebarb who's being circled by gnats. I don't know if you can see him. I'm trying to get the lighting. There you go. Oh god, don't throw a grenade. Control is crouch. You see the gnats zipping around? Yeah. I mean, I can't pay anyone at the moment. I'm stuck with subscriptions until they're all canceled. I understand, Indy. Well, Indy, just like Bash had offered, I'm happy to help out if you need. I probably won't do a very good job voicing a lady, but if you got like a character, I can do some voices, like that's actually like a channel part redemption here. Is if you wanted to, I'll do dumb voices. Like I could do Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Stupid fat herbices. It burns us. Take it our face. It burns us. You know, like I'll play I'll play games here for a little bit while pretending I'm Super Mario. Yahoo! I'm going to protect the Princess Peach. Yeah, I do all kinds of fun voices. Yeah. Stuff from Family Guy. Hey, Peter. When are you gonna mow your grass? Well, yep. That wasn't very good, Joe. My name's Peter. Peter Griffin. Or, what's Herbert the Pervert? Well, hey there, Musclio. Haven't seen you in a few days. When you want to swing by, bring me some good news. You like popsicles? I got a whole freezer full of popsicles in my cellar. I got a tip for you right here in my pocket. For my arthritis. Why don't you reach in there and fish it out? Well, hey there, Musclio. You can do a mean Mickey Mouse? Oh boy, that's a special tool for later. Oh, hold on. I gotta catch up on chat a little bit. Fiverr. Yep. Violence. I'm using Audacity anyway. My plans to just change the pitch of the voice. That makes perfect sense. So you can make one voice sound like multiple voices with Audacity by pitch shifting. That is brilliant there. That is brilliant. I'm reloading my browser because the feed was really choppy here. Okay, violence. Not a lot of violence in shooter video games, yes. I can't recording for, but I think my voice is alright. Honestly, Bash, you do have a great voice. This is basically a meme now. Actually, I know a few characters you can do from Friday Night Funkin'. I've never played Friday Night Funkin', so I didn't even know there were voices in that game. What was that one PlayStation game where like there's like a Kung Fu Master and like it's like a beat bop thing? It's like a rhythm game. This is worth a search. It has this art style. But you're like a rapper. That's what this right here, this. Parappa the Rapper. That is what Friday Night Funkin' always reminded me of. Like it's like just a 2D MC dude with a microphone. That's all it looked like to me. Mickey Mouse from South Park. You took off your purity rings. Monscott, hello. What's up, friend? We were just talking about Extra Life. Let me give you a little Extra Life email there, friend. Welcome, Monscott. How are you? There aren't any voices we have to come up with our own. Oh, okay, so the game doesn't have them built in, Retro. I understand. Onion Master, yes. Parappa. Okay, see, you guys knew what I was talking about before I even saw it. Look at you guys. 10 points. That deserves some round of applause right there. Look at you guys. You knew what I was talking about before I figured it out. Busier than ever, but enjoying it. Busy is a good thing, Monscott, but I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully, yeah, busy means you're staying out of trouble. Also, Friday Night Funkin' doesn't have 3D models. It's always been 2D. However, someone made, by the name of Cali 3D, made 3D models of the characters. Oh! So they use the 2D to sort of, like, inspire them to make 3D. That makes sense. And they're, like, humanoid, so it makes sense. And, like, we all know what a baseball cap looks like, so a backward baseball cap in 3D would be easy. Makes perfect sense. Is it for an Friday Night Funkin' game? My daughter would freak out if I did a voice. She's a massive... So FNF and Five Nights at Freddy's are different. So FNF is Friday Night Funkin'. which is, again, like a rhythm-based 2D thing here. Sort of like DDR, and sort of like Parappa the Rapper, where obviously Five Nights at Freddy's is obviously a 3D, like, spooky... Yeah. Different. But I can see the confusion. That was my first thought was too, Bash. My silly boomer ways have me confused. You're not a boomer. I use a program called MMD, or rather Miku Miku Dance, and I can make animations with it and credit you guys for it. Honestly, Indy, if you need help, like, let me know. Obviously, I have a webcam. I'm in a soundproof studio. You guys want to peek behind the curtain? Hold on. I'm afraid. But yeah, I don't want to take it all down because getting back up is gonna be really, really hard. But no, this sound paneling is over every wall in this room. I'm gonna give you a little creep here. So, without trying to unplug my webcam, there's that wall. It's even on the door. Yeah. We are surrounded by these sound panels. Oh my god, dude, you went overboard? Nay, Chavs. I just turned my hobby into a passion. That is the difference. And what's funny is, like, that is why when I'm streaming, right, so there are multiple lights at all times, like, there are multiple light sources all around me which produce heat. I have a laptop right here. I have a desktop right here. I've got an Xbox right here. All three of them are running. It gets stupid hot here. I'm also on the second floor of my house, and with nothing on, like, we could be in the middle of a power surge, or like where there's no electricity. Just walking up my stairs, from the first floor to the second floor, there's a serious temperature difference. It easily 10 degrees, right? But when that door is closed and everything is running, it gets hot in here. It gets hot in here. I have this temperature gauge or thermometer, and it's recording the temperature outside, which is listed as 61 degrees. You can see outdoor. And then indoor, it is 80 degrees here. 79 degrees right now. Yeah. That's why, like, when you guys are making me, like, work out, like, do sit-ups and push-ups and stuff, and it's 80 degrees, I am pouring sweat. I'm not even wearing socks right now. Like, if I could wear shorts and, like, a tank top every day on stream, I totally would. Wait, so tell me you don't actually sit on Nacht der Untoten with a chair? I've been lied to. I mean, there are chairs in Nacht der Untoten. And it was one question. You know about a famous Newgrounds mascot called Pico. I do know about them. Go on. Because I can't get the voice of him. Nope. But you can get the voice of him. No problem on Audacity. I just need to install a plugin into Audacity as well. Andy, that's amazing. Is Pico in the game? Or are you trying to add Pico later? Mon Scott. Monscott, 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 you rat. Monscott just used their phantom points to make me do push-ups. We're doing this workout night. Yep. Yep. Oh, bash sticks. You guys are sick. You guys are sick. Pico's in the game. I can Discord you his voice in my take once recorded. Honestly, Indy, if you need help, let me know. Let me know. I have the technology. I'm literally a visual design specialist as a profession. Like, that's my full-time job. Is I draw pretty pictures and I do video editing, like animations and stuff, like 3D. Yeah. It's a Bovin. What's up, friendo? All right. Let me get to the main screen, or the main close-up. We have 25 push-ups and 50 sit-ups to do. Who needs a hug? Me. All right, let's do it. Welcome, Bovin. Welcome. Let me give you a wave here, friend. Long time no see. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Okay, first things first. Monscott redeemed 25 push-ups. Speak of the devil. I just said how it was 79 degrees in here and it gets up to 80. It is 80 degrees in here officially. So, yep. That's happening. All right. 25 push-ups. Let me lower the webcam. Wow. My eyes are so green that the green screen was grabbing them. You can see through my eyes right now. That's weird. That is weird. Wait, that's in Celsius? I could put it in Celsius. That was in Fahrenheit. You can actually see there's a little Fahrenheit symbol there if it decides to focus. But I could put it to Celsius. It is 27 degrees Celsius. And 16 outside. There we go. Quit stalling! Drugs are bad, okay? Sorry. Trying to be responsive to chat. Yeah, so besides it being 80 degrees in here, also, I literally just had a 4-hour tattoo session on Monday, so that's fun. My arm's in a wrap. No big deal. Okay. My headphone's falling apart. 25 push-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. One more for the kids. Wow. All right. Lone Wolf, not you too. You rat. You rat. Who did the bicep curls? Oh, Lone Wolf, you did both of them? You guys are sick? You guys are sick. You guys are sick. Okay. 50 sit-ups. You guys are sick. Here we go. Wow. Okay. I catch my breath here a little bit. 50 sit-ups. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. One more for the kids. Wow. Okay. Thank you for those fainted points there, Bash. It'll really make your artwork pop. Yes. Yes. Okay. And to hydrate, Wilco. This guy knows. This guy knows. I'll cheers to that. Thank you. Thank you, Wilco. Thank you. I'm not sick. I'm a perfectly healthy boy. Yes. Okay. 30 squats. Well, first things first, let me adjust the webcam so it's like level again. And then, since we're doing squats, Susie Monster just subbed. Oh, he looks like somebody's haircut. I'm actually growing out to donate it to charity, Susie. It's a little goal of mine here. If I can raise 13 grand, I'm gonna shave my head. So, yeah, that's happening. But welcome to stream, friendo. Mm-hmm. Let me give you a wave. How are you, hippie? Go hug a tree. All right, well, we got 30 squats to do. Let me hit this magical button. Ready? You're doing well. Glad to hear it, Susie. No, I'm doing well too. I was doing better about 5 minutes ago before everyone started making me exercise in an 80-degree studio. But hey, I did this to myself, right? No one made me make those channel point redemptions. You should see my hair then. Wilco, how long's your hair? We talking like sternum? We talking like belly button? We talking like below your bum? How long we talking? The art cam was moving for a second. Nice. Smooth move there. Thank you. Yeah, that was a Christmas gift I got. My girlfriend got me a motorized standing desk stand. So I literally just attached my desktop to it. And now I can get some stand-in time. Just a single long strand. Spish. Alright, 30 squats. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, by the way, let me give Susie Monster a shout out, because that was super nice of them. Shout out at Susie Monster. You guys should definitely show Susie Monster some love. Besides being a pretty sweet friend, they are also a pretty sweet streamer. In fact, they even do co-op streams with the hubby. They also do makeup streams where they change their appearance depending on what's going on. They've done some really fun Halloween stuff. They've done some very festive things with the other holidays. Pretty great. Even like when Susie is made up to look like they are made of stone or a statue or whatever, they're still so pretty. Definitely need to check them out, show them some love. We have been following each other's Discords and all that jazz for years now, and if they're streaming when I'm concluding my stream, I do my best to raid when I can. Let's say it's about nipple length. Okay, so sternum high. Yes. You could just show me. Wilco, do it. Still waiting for their beverage. Oh, the Susie Monster, the Susie malt, seltzers. Yes. Okay, we left off at 10. We have 1 more to do. Here we go. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. One more for the kids. Wow. Lone Wolf, thank you for those phantom points, friend. I'm going to go ahead and mark those as complete. We have 40 bicep curls to do. This is good, though, because the camera's up high. You guys can see me, and we won't be doing a crotch shot. And that's good, because crotch shots are bad. We're not doing an OnlyFans thing here. That's on my link tree. Oh, man. And Pumpkin Jack wants us to exercise our wrists, too. Okay. Let me do that while we catch our breath. Whew. Fist open, palm open. Tip-top claw, half-fist fist. Fist open, palm open. Tip-top claw, half-fist fist. If you guys are watching at home, I would consider doing all of these exercises with me. Obviously, they're totally optional. But especially the wrist one, because you don't have to get up. You don't have to go down, do push-ups. It's good to keep the hands and wrists mobile, get the blood flowing, help avoid yourself some arthritis, all that jazz. Because if you're typing away on a computer or you're jamming away on a controller, these are the money makers. Argos 101 Media just subscribed. Salutations, friend. Welcome to the stream, friend. Speaking of fellow extra lifers, my goodness. Hold on a second. I just got your Discord message. Wow, yours does go down. Yours even has a little bit of a curl, Wilco. Crushing it. Wow, look at you. Literally slouching on the couch, drinking soda and eating junk food. Are you just like scratching your belly like, yes, exercise, fool, entertain me. Yes, another beverage, wench. Bash, that's amazing. I don't know if I slapped you away, but I'm doing it again. I'm even slapping that extra life emote. And let me give you a shout out here, Argos. Thank you so much for that sub, friendo. I appreciate you. Enjoy your ad-free viewing. Enjoy your exclusive membership to the Discord. And also enjoy your free entry into the giveaways we do every month. So there's that. Yep. I didn't straighten it or anything. That's why it curls. My hair is poker straight, Wilco. Like, I don't need to straighten it. If I do nothing, it's straight as a pencil. It draws like a pencil. So mine's not down to my chin yet. And I think when it can reach underneath my chin, I think that's when it's long enough for me to donate. Obviously, the longer I can grow it, the more it'll benefit somebody out there. But it's already longer than it has ever been in a... Sorry, not ever. It is longer than it has been in a very long time. And it's in a funky in-between stage, and I don't love it. Like, do I want to stick it behind me and then have, like, this flap hang down? Or do I want to do, like, the emo's not dead, I'm the lead singer of a band kind of situation? You in bed, baby? Love you. Yeah, I got options. Yours is super thick. It looks it. It looks it. I sent my horrible pun in your server. Enjoy the monstrosity. I appreciate you, Argos. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Emo's not dead. Rachel Bashstick says, hi, Rachel. I don't know if you heard that, but she says, hi. Okay, we have 40 bicep curls to do, courtesy of Lone Wolf. Let's get on it. I had a chance to catch my breath. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Are those rough because of the new tattoo? That's a good question, Bash. They're not painful, if that's what you're asking. That being said, my arm is swollen, and the areas that my artist worked on were literally the elbow. Last month, it was the elbow joint. So, last month, this area right here was what was like really annoyed and tough and scarring and trying to heal. So like every time I bent my arm, it was a struggle. And what's funny is like I could almost like feel myself like healing in like a bent position because it just hurt the least. And I'm like, I have to like extend on purpose to like make sure I don't like seize up like this, right? Like I don't want to fuse myself. This week was right here, and today it doesn't hurt. Yesterday and the day before, I was probably swollen as twice the size of my normal arm. Even sleeping was like impossible because it felt like there were like bugs crawling on me, and like I would shake my arm, I'd take like the jiggle. It was a lot. It was a lot. Things are infinitely better now. I still have to wear this for like until Sunday. But I have like 99% of my range of motion. Like I can easily throw my fist to this shoulder. I don't know if I can do it without just ripping the plastic. Like it's super taut right now. Like that is, yeah, it's like a water balloon ready to pop. So that's one part of it. One part is the body and one part's the plastic that you're fighting. I bet if Gory played some emu music, he'd be like Matt Cutshall latest video. Yes. You guys want to play my music? Yeah, man, whatever you want. Like, okay. Forging maps. Now we forging them muscles. Facts. Sheesh. Yes. All right, we left off at 20. We have 20 more to go. 21. 22. 23. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. One more for the kids. Wow. All right, feels good. Oh my gosh, so I just squat down to set those weights down, and the temperature difference from right here, above where all my computers and my consoles are running, down on the floor where all those things are above, it's night and day. And we have officially hit 81 degrees in the studio. So thank you guys for that. You guys are sick. I said it before. I stand by it. You guys are sick. Let me lower the desk down. We'll get seated. We'll pick right back up where we left off in Forge. Let's do it. Rock and roll. Okay. Sauna for real. Like, Oops, I'm breaking my chair here. We might have the world's healthiest skin because we are just pouring sweat at all times. Where's Guinness Book? I need to make a phone call. We're gonna have this verified. Matt's videos bang, especially when it's just a transition out of nowhere. I mean, I know he has like clothing and merch you can buy from his merch store. Who doesn't? I've got my own. But did he do his own coffee line? Like, Emo's Not Dead, like, it's black as my soul coffee. If not, that's a missed opportunity. He should. All right, gang. We were looking at this shelf and how we decorate it. Yep, two different kinds. Lone Wolf, what are the two different kinds? Obviously black, right? Like, that's a no-brainer. Like, black coffee. Like, no creamer. Black like my soul. Okay, so where's that zombie? Okay, he's over there. So it's about, I'm gonna say 6 inches off of the seam here. That feels about right, which would obviously put this one not inside of it, but I was wondering why Americans use creamer and not milk. Wilco, are you from the UK? It's me waving from across the pond, friend. I think it's a thickness thing. It's probably a sweetness thing too. Like, a lot of creamers here in the US are flavored like French vanilla or hazelnut, or I'm literally drinking a coconut creamer in the morning at the moment because I'll try this. We got a lot of creamer. Milk is good, but it's almost too thin, and I typically avoid milk. I'm more of an almond milk guy, and even then, the almond milk I use for my protein shakes every day it's unsweetened, so like, it would basically I might as well just add water, right? Like, I'm just diluting the coffee. Like, there's no added flavor benefit there. Bash, are you throwing some shade right now to our friends across the pond? Because we like flavor in America. We ain't basic. I'm sure it wasn't meant that way, but like, that's kind of the vibe I got. America, my forefathers didn't die so we could drink milk. Oh, that's funny. This country, we drink sugar. That's how we like it. I mean, just kidding. Not intended that way. I mean, honestly, if you want to make that flex, go for it, because you're not wrong. We do drink ourselves some flavored stuff, and yeah, I think it would be a safe argument to make that Americans aren't basic, except for the basic ones. They're basic. You know me, I'm super direct. Fair enough, Bash. Fair enough. Send you a screenshot, young man. Hold on. I have yet to receive anything, Lone Wolf. Okay, I just recorded and edited it. I just need to Discord it so I can send it. What are we talking? Indy, you talking about like your voice acting for your fan film? That was super fast. What's going on? I'm telling the 247 million milk cartons in my fridge. You said mean things. Why do you have so much milk? Why do you have so much milk? Oh Lord. Okay. Wait, hold on. Lone Wolf did just reach out. So the Emo's Not Dead has Black Heart Blend, the Tristy Mexicana Blend, and the Screamo Blend coffee. So they have 3, more than just 2. They've also got some really pretty coffee mugs and like turvises. Cute. Good for them. Good for them. I love milk. Milk is good. Honestly, milk is good. It's part of the nutritional pyramid for sure. I try to drink milk every day because, you know, calcium is good for you and broken bones are a bad time. But I have leaned more towards plant-based milk myself, like almond milk. I will go for almond milk every time, just because I'm not saying milk itself is bad, but it seemed like the right choice, if that makes any sense. Yeah, we just got Wendy's and Popeyes finally. It's so funny you say that, Wilco. I think Braden was just asking me about Popeyes mac and cheese earlier this week, maybe even yesterday, maybe even today, I can't remember. And I can tell you, I don't know if I've ever had Popeyes mac and cheese. I've had Popeyes chicken, and if you haven't had Popeyes chicken, then you're missing out, right? It's good stuff. Oh, it's just an audio test. Want to send some sample. Okay, well, I'll have to check it out. Indy, thank you so much. No joking, the frosting fries, though, oh my gosh, that was... Yes. Oh, the Chick-fil-A, oh, yes. KFC, so good. No, like, that was always a trick my mom would do. She's like, okay, take your french fry and dunk it in the chocolate shake, because then you get, like, a hot and a cold. The french fry is hot from the grease, and the shake is cold from the ice cream, obviously. You get the salty and the sweet. It's this juxtaposition, you know, like, some things just work great together, you know? It's amazing. Definitely worth a shot. Just face it, we're getting older and our stomachs aren't what they used to be. I mean, Susie, you're not wrong. I can still handle milk just fine, but I want to say almond milk has like twice the calcium. Maybe that's just packaging. Hold on, this is worth the research. Almond milk versus dairy milk. I think it's like at least twice. Mayo Clinic, okay. Yep. Skim milk is no real fat. I'm not trying to read all that. There had to have been a reason other than just like, oh, it's how they're treated. Like there's got to be more than that. Cow's milk contains more calcium compared to almond milk. Maybe I switch back to regular milk. I like regular milk. Regular milk is good. This is going to require some further research, but right now, it's looking good. It's looking good. Gory, where's the Discord? I can't send it without it. I could have swore you just sent me a picture on Discord. Oh, sorry. Wilco sent me a picture on Discord. Tell you what, Wilco. Jeez. Indy. I'll get you an invite to this Discord right now. 2 seconds here. You drink the Cravendale whole milk. I've never even heard of that. I'm assuming that's a local brand. Invite people. Okay. I messed that up. That was a mistake. 2 seconds. You'll have to Google that one. Apparently. Apparently. Okay. So here is your invite there, Indy. Typically, we try to keep our Discord exclusive for people who have subbed or gifted subs. And once they have subbed or have gifted a sub, they're in for life. Like you don't have to continue to resub. It's like, oh, your subscription's lapsed. We're booting you. Like it's not one of those things. I don't treat people specially. I just said, hey, listen, you just gave me money. Let me do something for you. Here's this hangout we have when I'm not live, you know? So that was the mindset behind that. So, there's your invite. You're going straight to Amish Farms and drink from the source. Just grabbing it right onto the udder. You're just for the song? Perfect. Perfect. All right, well, tell you what, friends. We have been streaming for a full 2 hours here, which means it's time for us to conclude our broadcast. But before we go, tomorrow is Braden162's birthday, and we won't be live to wish them a happy birthday. So we're going to sing them happy birthday here today, and I hope, Braden, that you have a happy birthday tomorrow. But heaven forbid, nothing crazy happens. at least, we will have said it so here today together. So let me get to the main screen. And we're going to sing Raiden happy birthday. Chat, feel free to sing along with me at home or type it in the chat. Spam some emotes if you'd like. We are going to give this a shot. Give me just a second and we'll give it our best. Bet. Happy birthday to you. Okay, this is way slower than I thought. Happy birthday. This is way slower. Hold on. We gotta find one faster. To you. Nope. This sounds like a jazzy thing. Hold on. These are all terrible. Okay, so we're just gonna do it a cappella. We're not gonna use music. Music is for the birds. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Braden. Happy birthday to you. Braden, hope you had yourself a good one. I had those things queued up for you. We'll even do another barrel roll because we only got half of one there. I had those ones queued up just so we'd have some music going, but boy, those are painful. Those were all painful. It was like we were in some type of like a club, and there was a bunch of old people. It was weird. It's weird. Either way, friend, have yourself a happy birthday. It was also my ex's birthday. We're good friends. That's all cool. Honestly, Indy, good for you. There have been a few friends or a few girlfriends that we're like, hey, let's call a spade a spade. This isn't working out. Like, you go that way, I'll go that way. And what's funny is my actually fundraising team, like the team I literally broadcast games for charity for, I got an ex-girlfriend on the team, fundraising together. It's kind of awesome. Not all exes turn out that way. Some are like excommunicado. Like we don't need this in our life right now. Like this is a lot. We're gonna cut that. No, so good for you, Indy, for being able to be like, listen, let's be adults, and I still care about you, but we're gonna do our own thing. So good for you, Indy. That's awesome. What do you mean you're really good at singing? Britton, you're kind. You're kind. No, I sing like an amputee. I can't hold a note. I can't carry a tune. There it is. Awesome, Indy. I will check them out, and like I said, if I can help out, I'm happy to. Especially if it means I could, get put in some type of a credits somewhere and be like, yeah, I did that. Oh, this thing? Oh, no big deal. That's me. Anyway, all right, gang, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the outro screen. We're going to find someone to raid together, and we're going to turn our party into their party. Oh, Scott, you son of a gun. Hold on, friends. Scott, if you look at my shoulder here, you can see just use their Phantom points to make me donate $1 of my own hard-earned cash to Extra Life. And we've only been talking about it nonstop this entire day, so it only makes sense. Let me go to my fundraising page. Hit donate. Too old, married too long to have exes. They're just dust in the wind. Exactly, Bash, exactly. This is for a Phantom Point redemption, and I'm going to give you a drum roll here, Scott. There it goes. Scott, thank you for making me spend my own money. I'm going to go ahead and mark those as complete. But yeah, we're going to go to the outro screen. We're going to find someone to raid together, and we are going to conclude this broadcast. We're going to turn our party into someone else's party. Let me take a quick look here. I know who we're going to raid. Perfect. Don't go anywhere, friends. We'll be right back.
The lesson I want you to learn
what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. You can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.
Sorry, I don't know why I was muted. Sorry. I just canceled the raid. We're gonna go ahead and drop a raid over my buddy Captain Jim Raynor. Captain Jim Raynor is not just our friend. Captain Jim Raynor is also a fellow Extra Lifer, and they're not just a fellow Extra Lifer. They happen to be an Extra Lifer on the same team that we're on. That's Project GG this year, raising funds for kids in need. And they're currently playing some Dead by Daylight, which is perfect because that's spoopy there and we're spoopy here. So yeah, we're gonna go show them some love. They are double perfect for this. Should I stream tomorrow? Brayden, absolutely. People love to show donations and bits and follows and hype trains and all that stuff for birthdays. Absolutely do it, buddy. If you're asking if you should stream and you're an Extra Lifer, the question's always yes. Or the answer's always yes. Either way, friends, I'm gonna go ahead and start the raid over on Captain Jim Raynor. I'm going to also make sure Pumpkin Jack puts some stuff in the chat here for us to copy and paste over into Captain Jim's stream. But that is going to be it here for me, not just this evening, or their Thriller Thursday broadcast, but for this entire week. We will be back next week for some more goodies, probably picking up right where we left off here in Halo Infinite. There's a good chance that things will look a little different next week than it does right now, because I have been trying to forge a little bit every day, because this is taking forever. We've got like 100+ hours in this map. So yeah, we need to get this done. That's what the plan is. Either way, as always, friends, there's never been anyone like you. There is no one like you, and there'll never be anyone like you. Love yourselves, love each other, I love you. We will see you all next time. Stay spooky. And if you excuse me, I get back to my coffin. We'll see you all next time. Have a good evening.